Hi, thank you so much for waiting and thank you so much for ordering from me. So, talking about the potential of your connection and how it can unfold in the coming time, I do see that maybe one of you was being quite skeptical about the relationship or this connection as well because maybe there have been some past circumstances where one of you have felt quite emotionally distant or willingly took a step back to analyze things more. So I do see that entering from that phase to this connection can be a quite difficult transition because the defense was there, and there was certainly a lot of introspection about how relationships or love should be. So I do see that one of you have taken some steps back to work on yourself or on self improvement as well. So there was a barrier built, and now that the relationship is unfolding, that barrier is somewhere vanishing, and you're establishing a whole new phase of getting into this connection and knowing each other more. So I do see that the possibilities are good, that you both can try to resolve the things and make sure that you both are interested in each other. And also I do see that with this new change, the expectations are there, and it is something that you have been working on. As I said, that one of you have taken that time to work on yourself and make things better for yourself. So this connection is somewhere setting up a good base of your future. You both have laid down good foundations. Maybe the understanding was strong between both of you, the connection was strong, so it is based more on the strength and the understanding that you both have been sharing with each other. Definitely there can be circumstances where you both can feel the issues arising, but then if you have that strong foundation, then certainly things are going to work on their own. But yes, there are certain things that you both need to consider, and you both need to be very aware of it, which is that because this is a new connection, I do see that there can still be some sense of confusion, especially somewhere from his side, that how to take things forward and how to think about long term. So I do see all these kind of skeptical things, or maybe running thoughts going on. And it is also something that sometimes you can feel that your relationship is very well or your connection is very well, but it may not be as good as you feel. So there can be deceptions as well, and things may not be as good as they appear to be. So this is something that I would recommend you, that do not completely blindly trust him, because there can be times when he can say things just to please you, or just make you feel special. He can say some things, but he may not completely mean it. So there can be things that that can happen, and you can feel that this is too good to be true. And that is why you need to be conscious or of where you're putting your trust in. So even if things can be good between both of you, it may not be as beautiful as they appear to be. So make sure that you are living with realistic expectations. You are making sure that he is also willing to put in those consistent efforts, because when this relationship is going to be new, then certainly the passion would be there, the spark would be there. And as I said, the bonding that you have both have developed is strong, so you would be feeling those connections. But again, do not build very high expectations of long term commitments as of now. There are things that you need to work on, and one of those prominent things is the involvement of others. There can be people around you who can try to create, who can willingly try to create some misunderstandings between both of you. The third party interference can be there in your connection, so it can make this relationship complicated. It can create arguments and conflicts between both of you, and you both need to address your egos very well. So even if you find yourself in arguments, even if you find yourself in conflicts, make sure that your ego is not speaking up, and you both are sitting down and discussing things instead of proving each other wrong. This is very essential. And Again, as I said, the trusting factor is still not very up to the mark right now, so you both need to develop that trust within each other. And it is also a possibility that he can also have some trust issues. So there are trust issues from both of your sides, and the third party interference from either of your sides can be very, very complicated. And so even if he has some of his friends, or you have some of your friends who are close to you, their intentions would be to protect you, or maybe to make you feel good, but they may not impact completely positive on your relationship, so they can influence you in a negative way. So you need to be very cautious of what is the truth, and how others are getting involved and making things happen. Again, this third party interference is also very much need to be addressed. So if he has some of the people who are extremely close to him, or you have your friends who are close to you, you both need to draw boundaries. Even if it's your closest friends, if your partner is having some issues or the insecurities because of that person, then make sure that you both are addressing those issues. You both are not taking it very lightly, right? So you have to draw some boundaries. This relationship can require some of the compromises from both of your sides, because to get on the same page, because to get on to leave your egos behind can be a task here, because you both can be strong as an individual personality. You seems to be more responsible, so your responses can be more somewhere analytical. You can think more before doing things. His responses can be impulsive, or he can also show his emotions in a very not so good manner, I would say. So even if he is hurt, he can say you things to hurt you as well. You can think of the other person more. You can think of you know if you are going to say some things, those things can hurt someone, so you can consider this. But somewhere he may not be very cautious about speaking, so his emotions can take over and he can react impulsively. So this is something that you both need to consider. This is something that you need to work on to make sure that the relationship is going smooth, and you both are willing to work on this relationship. As I said, that you both seem to be strong personalities. You both have your individual opinions. So it becomes very necessary for both of you to put your views in a certain manner, where you both are still respecting each other, but also but also putting your points forward. So make sure that these discussions, the healthy discussions, happen, and you both are spending more time with each other. The more time you spend, the more trust would be there, because as I said, the trust issues would be there. So you both have to work on things, and if you're able to work on all these things, then certainly things are going to be pretty good between both of you, because as I said, the foundation seems to be good. So you are going to make things happen. It is just that it can take patience and consistent efforts from both of your sides to bring the positive results. And for the oracle guidance, I would say that your intuition seems to be very strong. So you should not deny what your intuition is saying. Every time you are in conflict, every time there are certain things that you're finding it difficult to resolve, listen to your intuition, because it is definitely going to guide you right. So whatever your intuition says, go for it. Also, one thing, as I've mentioned about the trust issues, the ego issues, so there would be very many instances where you would have to forgive each other. So the forgiveness is very important, and it is not just about forgiving the other person, but many a times we put ourselves in that guilt or in that regret, and blame things on ourselves as well. So we have to be equally compassionate with ourselves. So even if you find certain things not happening your way, make sure that you are also forgiving yourself and allowing yourself to make the mistakes, but also realize those mistakes and work on it. So it is essential to forgive the other person and forgive yourself in the relationship. And yes, that's it for now. And if you have any questions, or if you have any doubts, you can ask me via the messages. And all the very best.